anticontentproject.com.
Open and close hands!
Hello, welcome to She Served 2. I'm Genevieve, and I'm here with
Pranava. How are you guys?
I'm so happy to have you with us today, Pranava.
I'm so excited to be here.
So, we're glad to have all of you with us. This is a show for women veterans by women veterans. So you can tell your story, you can hear other people's stories. We want you to feel supported within your community.
Which is always important.
So, Pranava, where did you serve?
I served in the Air Force for almost 10 years. From 96 to 2005.
Okay.
I was stationed at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson. And then I went to Korea to Osan Air Base. And then to Ramstein Air Base in Germany.
Okay.
And then to Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland. And then I got out.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow, that's a pretty broad career.
It is pretty broad. Yeah. And then I had I deployed to UAE to Al Dhafra in 98.
Okay, wow. So like during No Eagle, was that?
No, it was actually Desert Fox.
Northern Watch. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was during the same time as Northern Watch, but it was Desert Fox.
Okay.
Technically.
Okay, cool. I was like trying to remember them.
All
the names
operations.
From
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about it. It's called Desert Fox. So I do scouting now, right?
Yeah.
And my critter, they have a training that you go to, and you're divided into critters, and my critter is a fox.
Like, did you choose that, or
no?
That just
no, it's just
like,
how it happened. and then at Andrews, I got an award, which was the Sam Fox Award.
Huh?
That's so weird. I didn't even think about that until just now.
It's your spirit animal.
It is my spirit animal. I think the boys want to get me a cup that says 0 fox given with a little picture of a fox.
Yeah, I see those. Those make me laugh.
Yeah, it's my spirit animal.
That is awesome. My kids, one of their favorite songs is "What Does the Fox Say?"
For New Year's, they decided that they wanted to do like there's dancing, there's YouTube, there's a game, it's just dance, but there's YouTube versions of it where you can just look up the song on YouTube. So you looked it up on the TV, and they had all these songs, and everybody was dancing to it. Obviously, there's no points because it wasn't hooked up to a console.
But it's still hilarious.
But everybody was dancing, and one of the songs that they pulled up was "What Does the Fox Say?"
Yeah, my kids tried out for the challenge show with that song last year.
Did they?
They're like, "We're gonna dance to this song." I was like, okay.
Well, if you look up the Just Dance ones, there's moves to it.
Okay. Well, they made up their own.
They made up their moves,
which was cute, but they were sad when they didn't get in the challenge show.
Oh.
Anyway. There's a lot of people trying out for not very many spots.
Right.
So this year, I'm like, I told my daughter, I think you should sing. She's like, I'm like, you're a really good singer, and you know how to sing really well.
And she didn't go for it?
But I feel more comfortable dancing. Like, okay.
You gotta weigh it.
You gotta be supportive of your kiddos. Yeah, my daughter wants to be on the show at some point because she wants to be a Navy SEAL.
Nice.
So she wants to have a show where she gets to ask us questions.
Oh, that would be cool.
So I was like, I need to round up a few other
and have like a panel.
Little girls who want to ask questions of
that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Their future in the military.
I wish I had asked some questions before I joined the military.
What questions do you wish you'd asked?
Just how does it work? Like, I had no idea how the military worked. I didn't know about awards, ribbons, nothing. Yeah. Nothing. I went in with I had never even seen my recruiter in uniform before I joined the military.
So what, like, you joined before 9/11, so
I
you're
did join
unique
before 9/11.
in that compared to most of the people we've had on the show. what took you into the military? What life event or whatever, what brought you into the military? Were you part of a military family? Were you?
I was, but I wasn't really.
Okay.
So my dad's brother-in-law, so my uncle, is a retired Navy seaman. I don't know what he did.
Okay.
My grandfather was a Marine in World War II.
Okay.
And on my mom's side, she's from Colombia, South America. There was one, maybe two. I think there was one of my uncles that served in the Colombian Air Force.
Okay.
But my parents were really not military at all. My dad went to school in Indiana, went to law school, and was protesting the Vietnam War. And then they knocked on his door and they were like, "You gotta go. You're out." So he left. He left his senior year of law school, and he was gone for like 14 years, and I was born abroad while he was gone.
Like they said, he had to leave.
Like, "You're causing too much of an uproar. You need to leave the country." Like, he was that kind of protester.
Was he? But he was Colombian.
No, my dad's from Indiana.
Okay.
My mom's from Colombia.
So they kicked.
Yeah, pretty much. He was like,
wow.
So, yeah, I was born overseas, and I had a very hippie, free thinking, upbringing. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, were you a military brat?" No, my parents just moved a lot, or my mom did. So when I was in high school, I was in Santa Fe, and my mom actually kicked me out of the house when I was 18.
Oh.
So I was homeless, and I didn't really feel like I didn't know what I was going to do. I was couch surfing for a while, and one of my friends said, "Oh, let's go check out the Recruiter." And we went, and I ended up going to MEPS, taking the test, because I had never even finished the ASVAB. Like, when I took the ASVAB my sophomore year, I walked out halfway through. I was like, I don't need this in my life. So then here I am senior year, right? And the recruiter's like, "So your ASVAB scores are high enough to get you into stuff, but they're incomplete, so we need you to take it again." So I took the ASVAB, and December of my senior year, I went to MEPS and I did the delayed enlistment program. And then in August, after I graduated, I went into the Air Force.
Wow.
So I never really felt like, it's kind of bad, but it wasn't like this patriotic, "Oh, I have this duty to serve my country." It was more like, I don't know what else to do. Like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I was smart and I had good grades, but I didn't really think that I could go to college because I didn't have a support at home. Yeah, so I went into the military, but I had not grown up with military around me. The only military I knew was the kids in ROTC in high school, but I had never taken a class in ROTC or anything, so I didn't know no concept of the ribbons or awards or the structure or anything. Nothing.
But that made basic training interesting.
It was interesting. I had really short hair.
Yeah, me too.
I had it was like a couple inches long on the top, right? And I had bleached it before I went. So like halfway through basic training, I have these dark roots coming out. And the TI was like, "Okay, we're taking everybody to go get haircuts if they want." And I was like, I want a haircut. Because it looks crazy with this growing in. I just want to cut it so that it's all dark. And she was like, "No, your hair's fine. Just leave it." And she had short hair too. She was like, "It's fine, just how it is." And stubborn me, I cut my hair like in the bathroom at night. One of my friends helped me in the.
How did you even acquire a thing to cut your hair with?
Scissors? I don't even know. We had scissors somehow.
Oh my.
So we cut it, and it was like, we undercut it to all here. So all this was dark and short. And then I had right here, it was like dark roots, but then light. And when I put my hat on, I had a little light tail that stuck out, and I would just tuck it under. And people that have been to basic or that were in tech school with me were like, I remember you. You're like the one person in basic that had a cool haircut.
Because you did it yourself.
Because I did it myself. Well, so the shit thing was that I...
and you didn't get in trouble?
Oh, I got in trouble.
I
totally got in trouble. Was it Article 92 for disobeying a direct order. In basic.
Holy cow, you had to go see the squadron commander.
Oh, I had to see the squadron commander. Except I had no idea the gravity of it.
You're just like, oh,
I was like, okay, whatever.
People yelling at me. That's what
People
they do all day.
at me. Like, whatever.
I get to practice my reporting now.
And it wasn't even that I didn't care. It was that I didn't know to care.
Yeah.
Like, here's another one. When we were still rainbows, and we're all sitting there, getting ready to get our shots, right? And I hate shots. I've gotten so much better now, but I used to like run from the nurses. So we're sitting here crisscross in the floor, and we had just gotten our shots, and I come and I sit, and I'm like, oh my God, that wasn't so bad. I thought it was going to be so bad. And I made like some kind of weird face, and my TI is like, get over here. So I go over there, and she goes, do you have an attitude problem? And nobody had ever, I had no idea what that even meant. I'm like, so in my head, I'm processing it literally. Do I have an attitude problem? Well, I don't think so. And that was my answer to the TI who had just called me up. And I'm like, ma'am, Aaron Broadley reports is ordered. I don't think so. Like, totally confused. And she was just so pissed and so mad at me. And I was like, I just didn't know. Like, and to this day, there are still some things with colloquial things that I'm like, I don't get the joke. I don't understand why that's funny, or I don't understand what you're trying to tell me, or something. So,
oh dear.
Yeah, stuff like that. I wish I would have known.
Yeah, that's wow. Do you were your flights integrated?
Like male, female?
Like, did you have a brother flight?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a brother flight.
When they did that.
We had a brother flight. We had a baby flight. Yeah. And we were the only girls.
In your squadron. In
our squadron. And I think below and above us, there weren't any girl flights.
Yeah.
Any female flights.
It was similar. Like, there was us, and then 3 classes later, we had another female flight that we helped out, but mostly it was male flights. So.
I think by the time we were doing dorm guard duty for others, there was a female flight, and I did dorm guard duty for them. The basic training cracks me up. I feel like sometimes I just didn't even know, like, oh, you mean that there are these rules and you just follow them, period. Like now, I'm totally that person. Oh, that's a rule. I just follow it. There's no questioning, right? Like, they molded me.
Yeah.
But we were on the drill pad, and one of my BMT flight mates, she's like, she goes to the TI because she had started her period. And nobody gets their period in basic, right? I think she was the only person in our entire flight.
And we all got it at the same time.
You guys all got it? No, nobody got it for us.
It was awful.
But I had a tampon in my cargo pocket because that made sense to me. If I have a cargo pocket, why would I not put essentials like a tampon in there, right?
Yeah.
And I gave it to her, and the TI was like, your cargo pockets are supposed to be empty. And I remember thinking, what the fuck is the point of that? Why would I have a cargo pocket and not use it? It's that's the best part of the uniform is the cargo pockets.
The only thing that's supposed to be in there are that 341s.
Yes. Yes. And I was like,
those things are hilarious.
And she said, she was like, well, good job for having that, but you're not supposed to have anything in there. And I was like, well, I'm going back and putting another one in there when we get back to the dorm room. Because otherwise, what's the point?
Oh dear.
I didn't get to do the obstacle course with my flight.
Why?
I had to do it with the baby flight the following week, which was all guys. Kind of. So when we went and shot our M16s, our TI was a blue rope.
Okay.
So she was like all ate up. And she's amazing. She's amazing. Yeah.
I feel like blue ropes went one way or the other. Either they were like the most like upstanding citizens you'll ever meet, or they were just complete jerks.
She was amazing. I loved her.
Yeah.
That woman could do push-ups for hours. I remember when we had like our tests, she came and she was doing push-ups with the people that couldn't. She's like, come on, you can do it, cheering them on. So she was totally awesome, right? Yeah. But she was also trying to get us into stop questioning things, just do what you're told, and that whole thing. So, and one of her lines was, if you were at war, would you be doing this? Right? So we're at the rifle range.
Right.
We go through all the safety, blah, 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 and we start shooting.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I get brass from the girl to my left. And I'm leaning forward, right? And it hits my collarbone and goes into my shirt.
Oh, shoot.
And I
burn you?
Oh, yeah. And I felt it. And I went like this to try and like move it. Because I was leaning forward, because I was like, okay, well, then maybe I can like have it hang in the front of my shirt. Well, when I did that, it went into my bra and got lodged inside my bra.
And it's hot as I'll get out. Oh, for those of you who don't know, like brass that's just been fired is really, really hot.
Really, really hot.
Like burning, like cauterizing hot.
So it was not good. It was not good. So
did you end up with like a second or third degree burn?
I ended up finishing my round, and it was on the last one, thank goodness. I ended up finishing my rounds, clearing my weapon, putting it down, walking away like nothing had happened. And then like getting it out, and I'm still like in so much pain, and I'm just like, everything's okay. And then the cadre comes over, and he's like, okay, everybody, we're cleaning up, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I think I might have burned myself. Like, it doesn't feel really good. And he was like, what happened? So I tell him, they had to escort me somewhere where there was a female.
Yeah. So
she could look, because it was like on my nipple. It was bad.
Great.
So, and first they took me somewhere where I could look at it, because they were like, okay, what's the damage? We can't look at it. So what's it going to be? So, and I'm like, oh, it's bad. It's bad. So I get taken to the hospital, and I spend the rest of the day at the hospital. And I had blisters on my boob, on my nipple. Like, it was just bad. And it was so bad that I got a waiver that I could not wear my BDU top. Because you know how we have the seam right here of the pocket? That's where the blisters were. Oh, so just that triple layer of fabric was excruciating painful. So here I am walking around basic training with a cool ass haircut, not wearing a BDU top.
Everyone's like, what is her deal?
I know. And I had every single TI. I had to walk from the hospital back to the squadron without a BDU top.
And I'm sure every TI on the base.
Every TI on the base.
Hey, what's up with you?
Airman, get over here. What is your problem, sir? I have a waiver. Oh, I gotta see this. And I take it out and give it to them. And they were like, oh. So the best part of it was I shot expert. I shot marksman during that whole thing. And I was, as I'm shooting, my TI's voice is in my head. Would you be doing this if you were at war? If you were at war, would you be worried about a shell in your shirt or someone shooting at you? Well, heck, I'm taking them out first.
Yes, you are. Oh my gosh, that's wow.
So finally we ended up where I would wear the shirt and my left arm was not in the sleeve. It was like this, and then the pocket, the arm was just like tucked into the pocket, so it looked like I had a sling on underneath. And then that way I could put my hand like this and hold the shirt so it wasn't on. Yeah.
When I was in basic, they take your glasses, your eyeglasses. If you have eyeglasses, they take your eyeglasses and they put them through like this machine that they can determine what your prescription is.
Oh, okay.
So they can make your so-called BCG, birth
BCGs.
control goggles. And when they made my prescription, they reversed my eyes. And I have astigmatism. So I was like, I kept messing up like the dorm guard log and stuff. And my TA was like, what the heck is wrong with you, baby? Like, why? What is wrong with you? And I was like, sir, I can't see. And he's like, what? I was like, sir, if I put my glasses on upside down, I can see. But when I have them on the right way, I can't see. And he's like, what? Like, why haven't you said anything? Because this has, like, been a week.
Right.
And he's like, why haven't you said anything? I'm like, sir, because I was scared. He's like, no, you're going to the eye clinic, like, today. So I go to the eye clinic, and they're like, yeah, we really screwed that up. So I had to wait, like, another week for my glasses. But the glasses I came in with were transition lenses. And I was the chow runner. And so I was the first person into the dining facility every day, and they hadn't transitioned yet by the time I went to report to the table. So every single day I'm getting yelled at for having sunglasses. Why are you wearing sunglasses? What is wrong with you? And I'm like, sir, your report's is ordered. Sir, these are transition lenses. I'm waiting for my new prescription to come in because they got my prescription wrong when I got my glasses. And I was like, I think I was pretty much immune to yelling by the end because I was just like, you can yell at me all you want. Like, I'm not doing anything. And I was like, sir, according to AFI 31-101, like, this particular article, transition lenses are appropriate. They will change to regular glasses once they've been indoors for a certain amount of time. I'm sorry I don't have the appropriate glasses. I'm waiting for my appropriate glasses to come in.
It's funny, though, that then all of a sudden, like,
you
resort to the regs, right?
You know your regs.
Oh, no. This is how this works.
The regulations there, like, according to the regulations, these are acceptable glasses. They are not inappropriate. They just are not what you typically would have in basic. And the only reason I don't have them is because they screwed up my prescription. Like, but it was so funny because, like, the first day, you were talking about not knowing anything. Like, I didn't grow up around the military. Like, my grandfather, who my grandma married when I was 14, because my grandpa died when I was, like, 7, was a retired Navy guy. Like, he was he was a lieutenant, Navy lieutenant, so captain equivalent in the Air Force. But he was enlisted before that. So he's really the only exposure I'd had to the military. And so I didn't know what I was doing. And then, like, they gave us our clothes, but they didn't tell us how to wear them. So, like, we show up in the squadron, like, literally we've just come back from a clothing issue, and I have to go report for
your uniforms?
In our new uniforms. But nobody told us what we were supposed to do with the blousing straps or anything. So, like, my strings are hanging out everywhere. I have no idea what I'm doing because nobody's told me what I'm supposed to do. And, like, they're like, what the fuck? And I was crying, and my tears like, you will not embarrass me. He's like, I didn't give you this job because you can't do it. I gave it to you because I know you're smart enough to do it. Get it together. Like, I was just like, he's like, he was an awesome TI. Like, he was kind of like that fatherly figure where, like, he would yell at you, but it was never like just to be mean. It was very much, and it was really interesting because our squadron had a culture of unit cohesion that none of the other squadrons had. Like, for us, when anybody got punished, it was the whole flight. Like, there was no, well, I do better than this person. Any of that was immediately quashed. And so when we got to Warrior Week, it was insane because, like, these other flights of women were just, like, catty as all get out and just, like, she didn't, like, telling on each other. Like, it was, like, all sorts of, like, BS. And our flight wasn't like that. We're all just like, how do you get away with this? Like, our TI would have our butts for this. Like, I don't know what your deal is. But we really had a squadron. Like, it was a team effort. Like, not just us, but our brother flight too. Like, it was like, we're all, you screw up, you're all screwing up. There's no, well, I can throw her under the bus and get away with whatever I did or didn't do. It's like, no, you guys are supposed to take care of each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's why our flight was the top
Did you get
flight.
honor flight?
We got honor flight out of Warrior Week.
Too.
Or I don't know if we got honor flight, but we were like the best flight in Warrior Week. Like our flight and
I feel is Warrior Week the one where you go do the.
It's where the obstacle course.
Yeah, so that I couldn't do any of that.
Everything else. So. Yeah,
in our little yearbook for it, I'm not in any of those pictures because I wasn't there.
Our yearbook, they put the wrong flight in. So. So Warrior Week, all the pictures are of another
random
flight
people.
Entirely. I'm like, that's not us.
That sucks.
So yeah.
Yeah, I did it with
But we had like a bunch, like everybody got really sick, so I think I finally got it at the end. But we had people that missed like a half of Warrior Week due to like severe illness, like bronchitis, almost pneumonia. We were, I mean, because it was January.
What time of year? January. Oh,
January. Like we graduated on Leap Day.
I went in August, the middle of August.
So you had the heat.
So I had the heat. I remember
it's
going
so cold
to call
in Warrior Week. We had to go back to the squadron
because you were so cold.
Because they didn't have the right sleeping bags for the temperatures that it was. Like we could not do any of the water activities during our obstacle course because it was like 22 degrees in San Antonio. It snowed while I was in basic training, and oh my gosh, people in San Antonio do not know what to do when it snows. They were driving slower than the flights were walking. Like they were just like, and there was not even like the lightest dust. Like it was like powdered sugar on the road, and they're all like driving like 3 miles an hour, and I'm like, it's not even snow. It's not even snow. They were just like, what is this, white? So yeah, no, it was freezing when we were in basic.
Ours was super hot. I remember when we were able to go and do like a phone break. Did they have payphones when you were there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we went into the little courtyard with the payphones, and I remember I had to hold the phone like away from my ear because I was so sweating so much that as soon as I had the phone touch, it created a vacuum. I was like.
Yep.
It was so gross. I'm like, I'm still alive. I love you. Bye. Click.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Basic was something else. It's interesting because I've had this discussion with several female veterans, and the Air Force has been integrated in terms of male and female flights for a long time, but like. Marine Corps doesn't even do their basic training at the same base.
I heard that, and someone said that to me. I was like,
Army,
no wonder you have a problem.
It does or doesn't. And, like, I personally think there's something to be said for the respect you gain from your male peers when they see you overcoming the exact same obstacles they're overcoming.
Oh, yeah.
I think that gives them a certain respect for you, but I know I've talked to other women who were not in an integrated basic training situation, and they felt like it allowed them to focus and learn and perform without worrying about the acceptance or lack thereof of their male peers. So I'm asking this question to everyone because I find it interesting. So I feel like
I don't know that I ever thought about the acceptance of my male peers. It was just my
personal performance.
No, it wasn't even that. It was the people in uniform. Like we're all one.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not like we have to be brought up together and then learn how to function together. It's more like we are brought in together and learn from the very beginning how to function together. Yeah. I mean, even like my obstacle course. Mm-hmm. I was, if you're taller than the person in front of you, tap. Mm-hmm. Okay, I went to the obstacle course with a male flight. On average, I'm really short for a guy. So I was all the way in the back. These guys were walking so fast. And I'm like, oh my God, my little legs. Trying to keep up and stay in step. It was crazy. And we got there, and they knew that I was there because I had the brass burns. So they knew that I couldn't go with my flight. So they already knew, like, ahead of time. Oh my gosh. So, and I shot expert. So it was like one up already, like respect wise. But I helped them, they helped me when we were going through the course. It wasn't let me show them what I can do, or that they were trying to impress me. It was just we all need to get through this. Let's go. Yeah. That's it.
And that's how we were. Like, I didn't experience in basic at all. I didn't feel like there was this one-upsmanship or anything, because it was just,
I didn't feel that at all.
But in active duty, absolutely. And with a couple of the TIs, absolutely. We had a TI who didn't think women should be in the military. And I'm like, well, then maybe you shouldn't be, sir. Because we are.
Yeah.
But he would, like, purposely fail every woman on her PT eval. Like, he'd be like, nope, that wasn't a push-up. But the guys would get away with much worse push-ups.
That's crazy. I think we were in a unique situation because we had a female TI that was very well respected.
Yeah.
And we had a male TI also with her, but then we had a training TI, and she got her hat on our graduation.
Aww.
So we were doing, so she wore a cap the whole time, and then on graduation day she got to wear her
Did she
campaign.
march you guys for parade? Yeah. That's cool.
So
was that her first day wearing her hat?
Yeah, it was her first day wearing her hat. So that's kind of cool too.
That's pretty exciting.
But I feel like it was just a general, we're here to learn, we have a mission to get done. And it was never really an us versus them or anything. I never got that.
Yeah. No, I didn't feel that either. Like, I know in tech school maybe there was a little bit more of that, but in basic I felt, and I think a lot of it I put to the incredible caliber of TIs we had. Like that one TI who was a blue rope for our squadron was a jerk. But our TIs on our flight were all about unit cohesion, both our individual flights and as brother-sister flight when we were integrated. Obviously, we couldn't talk to each other, like, ever.
Right.
Which is where it was hilarious, because I actually ended up deploying with one of the guys. He was the brother flight chow runner. And, like, for 6 weeks, we were trying to figure out how we knew each other, because he worked at the chow hall, so I'd see him every day, and we're like, how do we know each other? And we're like going through all this, like, nope. Finally, we're like, wait a minute, because you don't talk to anybody. You don't talk to anybody, so it's not like you know their name. It's not like you know it, but like, because we were always reporting at the same time, because we were together. Like, that's how we knew each other. But
so that was the one good tip that my recruiter gave me. She said before I left, she was like, when they are divvying out jobs, you are very particular about how your clothes get washed. And I was like, okay. She was like, that is your job. Anything that has to do with laundry, volunteer for it. And I was like, okay. So I'm sitting there waiting. It was like the one tip that she gave me. And I was like, okay, this is it. So that when they asked, oh, who likes food? Okay, you're the chow runner. Okay, who's particular about how they clean things? Okay, you're going to be latrine queen and blah, blah, blah. When it was laundry, I was like, me, I want to volunteer. Well, you can't leave the laundry alone. So you're taking everybody's laundry down to the laundry room, washing it. You're staying there with the laundry, then drying it. And guess what? Everybody else is in there doing laundry too. And there's nobody there checking on you. So we talked and everything else.
Yeah. No, I didn't have a choice. They're like, nope, you're going to be the chow runner.
Our chow runner's last name was Stupik with a K. And like a week or two, I forget how long actually. It might have been a week or two. At some point, our TI was like, okay, I need a different chow runner, because all the other TIs are looking at me crazy because they think I'm calling you stupid. Because, like, she's yelling through the dining hall, stupid, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I can't deal with it anymore. Okay, we're getting a new chow runner.
Yeah, I was BB, and we were brand new. Like, we were only the second or third week that our squadron had been open. Like, we were brand new, because they spun up so many squadrons, or they spun up extra squadrons trying to get the people into places that they needed to, because I came in right after this, like, about 9 months after the start of the Iraq War. So we were in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they were just pushing through as many bodies as possible. And so we were a brand new squadron, and our chow hall wasn't ready yet. So we would have to go to all the other squadrons. So every time I'd be out on the drill pad or the like PT pad, all the TIs knew my name because I had to do chow reporting at all the squadrons.
All of them.
So everyone's like, baby! I was like, I wish everybody did not know my name.
I just want to be invisible. I just want to be invisible.
Just leave me alone. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Basic was so. But I will say, like, we were talking about resilience in one of my groups the other day, and I think there's a certain amount of resilience that comes from knowing that you got through basic training.
Not the hardest thing I've done in my life, though.
No, but
not by any means.
No, but at the same time, like, once you've gotten through that, like, stuff that maybe would make other people I think it gives you at the very least, it gives you a jumping ground to say, okay, I achieved that. Like, this might be harder, but I did that thing.
For sure. I think it also has to do with knowing that when you set your mind to something,
right,
you can do it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just 1 week at a time. I got 1 week down. Let's go for another one. Right?
1 hour.
Yeah, I mean, and I like that. I mean, I don't know how they do it now. How long was your basic?
It was about 7 weeks. But now
I think
8.
Mine was 6.
Yeah, it was like 0 week and then 6 weeks. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but
right after I went through,
they changed it.
Yeah.
But I liked that they have, like, where you can walk through Lackland and you know where people are in their training based on the uniform that they're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was really cool too, because it has to do with the building people up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, crushing them down and then molding them into what you want.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I had to go do dorm guard duty for an incoming flight. And they're all scared to death. There was already people in bed, and there was a new group of girls coming in, right?
Oh, wow.
So they come in, and the TI had given me instructions. She was like, they need to have a shower, they need to clean the bathroom, and they need to be in bed, and you have like 30 minutes to do it, which is freaking insane, right? Because she was setting them in, and then I had to just wait there by the door. And then when she left, I had certain things that I had to get done. And I remember she took me out, and she was like, you don't forget the importance of the first 48 hours. And I was like, I feel like I was just given this golden nugget of, like, secret information. Do you know? Like, who shares that with the basic training person? But at that point, we were already wearing blues.
Yeah.
So, like, done, yeah. So, but I went back in there, and I was like, everybody get your stuff put away. Get in the shower. Come on. No lollygagging. These girls moved so fast. So fast. They went in there, took a shower fast. I'm like, get out. Okay, clean. Get dressed. Get in bed. They actually did it. They did it in like 30 minutes. Everybody took a shower. Everybody had the bathroom cleaned. And they were in bed. And I remember I turned the lights off, and I was just like, please forgive me. I felt so horrible because I was just part of the breaking someone completely down during that.
Yeah.
But then if you have someone like your TI that's like, no, we're all a team. We're all in this together. Then when you get built back up, then you feel like you belong to something.
Yeah, and I think that was the most valuable thing our TI gave us, because that did not happen in so many flights. And I feel like Warrior Week was the only week that there really was the opportunity to see that, because it was just a very different environment than like the rest of basic training. But I was just like, this is not good. Like, these are the kinds of things that ruin you in unit cohesion and everything else. So I was really glad that we had a seriously focused TI that said, no, you're going to be a team. You'll be punished as a team. You will excel as a team. And the fact that we were the top flight in Warrior Week, I think, was a testament to that. Because we knew how to work as a team.
Right.
It wasn't about one-upsmanship.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where I don't think that having a male or a female in the mix would matter. Because once you just see each other as team members,
Mm-hmm.
then that's all you see.
Yeah.
All you see is you and I together are going to make this work.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that already, if you haven't been taught that from the beginning, then it doesn't matter if it's a guy or a girl. It's just not going to work anyway.
Totally. No, I think that's true.
Because there's been a lot of times where we have women who should be building each other up, and then the women are coming and working against each other. And I'm like, what? Like, we're in this together. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't need your shit too. What are you talking about? And it's just, I feel like building each other up and working together as a team, that's just a skill that's non-gender specific. Okay. And you have to have that. Once you have that strong, then it won't make a difference if your partner is a male or a female. Yeah. Because you're just working together for the same goal.
No, I agree. Well, this has been awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your story.
Thanks for inviting me. Sometime. For sure.
Talk about some other stuff. So.
Yeah. Maybe we can get past basic this time.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us on the show. We do still want your pictures because we want this lovely wall behind us at some point to be the faces of the women who've served. She served too. You served too. We want those pictures. So you can reach us anticontentproject@gmail.com, and we would love to hear your story, and we'd love to have you on the show. So thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
anticontentproject.com